People's Rebuttal, Zach, Lozelle. What's up,
Whoop,
man?
whoop, whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop. So I got a question because I've been reading a few articles and, from an outside, did you ever hold out from like OTAs?
No, I've never held out for OTAs because this generation is so pampered and expect everything to happen the way they do, which the owners and the NFL and stuff just let it happen. Entitlement is basically what it's saying. If you head out OTAs when I was playing, they'll cut you.
But so now I think they're voluntary now, right? Is that
They're voluntary there.
okay?
Voluntary slash mandatory.
It's
So
like when your
yeah,
dad asked you to do the dishes or your mom asked you to do the dishes. They weren't really asking,
yeah,
but they
exactly.
just phrased it as hey, Flizell, will you do the dishes? It wasn't like, nah, I'm not gonna do them. You knew it was not really asking. I'm trying to be polite and I'm posing it as a question, but in the end, it means do the fucking dishes.
Do the damn dishes.
Yeah.
Show up for OTAs. I mean, you might take a day off here or there. It's like 4 days a week for 2 months, maybe 2.5 months from the middle of March to the middle of May. Whatever the date is, it's still the same pretty much, but show up. You can't miss, especially like low round draft picks or anything like that, or fighting for a job, or you're going to get a contract extension next year. Show up because it seems like on the media that these owners and coaches and stuff don't get along. Like they're like total enemies. I mean, it might be one or two back there, but they all talk.
Yeah.
They all talk. They all network. They all on one network. And whatever the coach name, like San Francisco guy and a Jacksonville guy, they might look at each other and give some BS shake hand like, ooh, man, that's heated. Man, they probably sitting right there after minicamp, go sip on margaritas with their wives and stuff. They talk, like, oh, how's this guy? How's that guy? We're thinking about signing him, and we're not gonna let you sign him, but I mean, it just goes back and forth. And they talk about it like, oh, he's lazy here and there. This is what this guy's doing. Like, oh, this is not what this organization needs. So if you did that back in the day, that wouldn't be very, very good on your resume.
So some of these I agree with. I mean, I can understand that Cam Hayward would sit out at his age, man of the year and, Walter Payton Man of the Year award winner, defense. I get it. I get it with Cam Hayward. But then I go down here to Justin Jefferson and I notice that he's a holdout. Your quarterback's gone. Kirk Cousins in Atlanta. You need all the practice and all the work you can put in with your quarterback. So the idea that you wouldn't show up is T Higgins. I get it. There's not a ton of new stuff. Um, I guess Tua's holding out. I don't understand what CeeDee Lamb's doing. I mean, I respect you're a great wide receiver, but y'all keep falling short with all the tools that you have, you know. And so the main reason this comes up is just the amount of class that once again we see in Dak Prescott. Him coming out, he's in the same position as all these guys and saying, I got a contract. I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna play my game. I'm gonna let the business people worry about the business stuff. I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna do what I need to do.
Well, that's the
To me,
correct
that was yeah,
that's the
that's just
correct
classy.
approach. Did it? I saw that way Zach did it. That's the way you should do it. But then other guys will disagree with like, oh well, you already got 150 million. You already got paid your full contract, stuff like that. But usually that's the way how they do it. These guys hold out. Like I don't know what recent situation. Like Ezekiel Elliott a couple of years ago. He
Years left.
he had held out. He has a 5 year deal. He held out his third year.
Right. Yeah, 2 years
That
left,
means you have 2 years left
and that was before Dak got his contract. He wanted his before
before
Dak. Yeah.
before that got in. So to me, that's selfish. It's very, very selfish. Well, you don't know. I mean, I know. I mean, you can get hurt anytime you're on the field. But you have 2 years left of the deal. So when you have some deal, okay, say I don't know, Justin Jefferson, he probably have 2 years left on his deal, maybe something like that. But him sitting out and not getting the reps he needs with this quarterback makes it disastrous for not only him, but the whole team. The whole team could be good. What if he doesn't get a contract extension and he's holding out? He's gonna have a bad year. So he probably left $30 million on the table by not doing it. So
Yeah,
I mean,
he's on his fourth year now.
he's on his fourth year, so he probably down a 5-year deal. So him doing that is just, I think it's just selfish that he's not going in and practicing OTAs. Now look, if he did OTAs and held out training camp, I can agree with that.
And we're not even in training camp though, right?
I know, no, training camp's the end of July. End of July. If they're holding out for that, at the end of the, for training camp, I understand that, but OTAs, no. Get a rapport with your quarterback, Jefferson's not. Cam Hayward, his situation, I just looked him up. He's 35 years old. I didn't know he was that old. That's old for a player, so to speak. And, he's just trying to get one last deal. Because, 35 years old, he's going to probably have 2 years left. So going to try to squeeze out as much money as he can and then walk along the sunset. That's a different situation. But these guys, and it's not only these guys that are doing this. The owners are falling into their laps. They're doing it. It's not one owner, well, not probably one, but most owners are just falling to the lap. Okay, we're going to give them a deal. Oh, we're going to work on this. We're going to work on that. They're just like the entitlement situation in the world today. Every time somebody cries, they put a bottle in their mouth. When we grew up, if you cried, they just sit there and look at you and just let you cry. Cry. But no, they don't stick a bottle in their mouth so they can be happy. They want everybody to be happy, but there's no such thing as everyone being happy.
Yeah. So Mike is holding out, or he's not coming, but it has to do with some personal. Oh, he's doing workouts off site. So.
Now that's who you talking about, Parsons?
Yeah, he didn't show up for OTAs because he's doing his own. It says he's doing his own stuff.
That's the same thing as holding out.
Yeah.
That's just another word of holding out. He's holding out. So
Yeah.
he's working out on his own. He probably is working out on his own, but he's not working out on his own like he is with OTAs. But he's holding out.
Yeah.
And he has what? How much he has on his contract?
He's got 2 more years, doesn't he? He's first round.
I believe so. They probably picked up his. Oh, it's the 4-year deal. He had a 4-year.
He wasn't in the top. He wasn't in the top 10.
Yeah, he's the 12th overall pick. So he had 4 years. Probably he just finished 3, right? So he got 1 more year. So he's basically holding out. So they'll show up to the OTAs. You know how I feel about that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. They need to get rid of him. He's not worth $180 million or something that they probably gonna give him.
Well, yeah, that's just like you wonder how much Jerry Jones regrets paying Zeke. I mean, he owned the rushing. What, in 3 years? Yeah, in 3 years he owned the rushing title 2 of his 3 years.
Yeah.
Signed that contract and hadn't held it since.
Well, I can say being offensive lineman, his offensive line didn't hold out as much as they should have because he had a lot of injuries and everything. He takes the blame too, but the offensive line wasn't as great as it was his first 2-3 years. Some guys have left, some guys have got injured and all other stuff. The center retired or something, or he was getting hurt, and Smith, he was playing half a season. So I mean, of course, his rushing average is going to go down, but don't get me wrong, it's his fault too.
Yeah.
But no, they're scapegoating their running backs right now. None of them are getting paid. Not most of them. Well, the guy from the Bears got a pretty decent sum, but that's about it.
Yeah. And of course, I keep speaking of the Bears, obviously I keep hearing the coming of Jesus named Caleb Williams. That I don't know.
What, a starting quarterback?
Yeah, I don't know. As a Bears fan, I really hope that all this hype is worth every bit of it.
So you don't believe he should be starting?
Oh, he's gonna start. Who would they start?
Yeah, I'm just saying. It sounded like you didn't want him to start right away.
I know. Yeah, he's gonna have to start. And I agree with everybody else. They gave him. There's obviously the thing where they set Fields up to fail. I don't think they intentionally set Fields up to fail, but I do think that they thought that between Justin Fields, Mooney, running back and everything else, that they had the pieces, to get further than they actually got. And I hope, with Caleb, they've set him up with Keenan Allen. You already had DJ Moore. You got this rookie coming in. You've made some moves on the offensive line, and of course the defense did great later in the year. So I'm excited to see where we're going to end up this year with the Bears. He's got a great tight end. I do. So have you seen the picture of Caleb Williams and Duque? What is it? Rome. Have you seen the one where they're doing?
Was it like the brothers picture?
Yeah, the brothers.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
Yeah, I saw that. It was a couple more guys that did the same picture too on the team.
Hilarious.
That was funny as heck.
Oh,
but hey, they're gonna need it. They're gonna need it. So you better go on and get it done. But I hope he's worth the hype too, because he went from Heisman winner to average player in his last year. But I'm kind of excited to see what he has. I mean, it's just definitely better situation than Justin Fields 3-4 years ago when he first got in. I mean, all he has to do is just play basic football. He doesn't have to do anything spectacular with all the offensive weapons he has. I mean, he got
Caleb Williams.
Yeah, Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
He has like every offensive weapon that a quarterback would want.
Yeah, a damn good catcher, Keenan Allen. Yards after the run, DJ Moore. You have a running back. You have a wide receiver, which I've watched some of his stuff. I mean, it's going to be, to say the least, it's going to be entertaining.
It'll be very entertaining. Yeah. It'll probably be entertaining as much as watching the Cowboys. Nothing but entertainment.
So the NFL, we had the teams, we had the teams that were going to play, but we did not have the actual schedule of what it, when everybody was playing. And I do think they gave the Jets, so I guess they feel that, Aaron Rodgers is going to be something to watch again. Because I think the Jets have the most primetime slots of any team.
Yeah, I saw that they have the most primetime slots, on whether it's Monday night or Sunday, 3 p.m., whatever the primetime slots are. But I heard an NFL executive saying that they owe it to them to have those slots. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is
For what?
Because they have never had a doggone primetime slot in years, and just because he got hurt last year, if they had a primetime slot, it wasn't primetime definitely. So That was just a stupid excuse just to say we want more viewers because Mr. Rogers is just a sassy guy and they want to see the sassy people on the TV just as much as Taylor Swift with the Kansas City Chiefs.
I would have completely understood the whole Taylor Swift thing. I would have understood that 100%. But I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of hype coming in for Aaron Rodgers, and I'm very curious to see. I don't know. It feels it's like having the same hype as last year. Mister. Oh well, you have to think it into existence. Well, do you think that ACL into existence? Because that's what happened. But I am curious to see what's going to happen.
Well, he's the last hurrah of the great quarterbacks from the 90s and 2000. Well, 2000. He's the last guy. Tom Brady's retired. They did the same thing with him. They put him all on TV and everything. And Peyton Manning and so forth. On their way out, they're going to put him in. Because with Aaron Rodgers, you don't know if this is going to be his last year because he's so wishy-washy. So they thinking this is his last year, so they're going to give it to him. And so they want to see his face. I mean, you saw his face all over the nation when he was with Green Bay. So they're going to have it with the Jets, just like 40 years ago with, what they call him? Joe? Broadway Joe.
Yeah, Joe.
Broadway Joe. So they're going to have Aaron Rodgers. So Aaron Rodgers is the Taylor Swift of the NFL.
But remember, you took Aaron Rodgers and his opponent is the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah.
You're putting Aaron Rodgers against a phenomenal defense. And I promise you, I don't think anybody's aiming to hurt Aaron Rodgers. But they just like with any quarterback the 49ers play, they're going to be coming for that quarterback. Of all the teams, I mean, it's not like they're paying against, some normal defense. I mean, the 49ers have a phenomenal defense. And I think most of it's carrying through to this year anyway. So Thursday night, the first game of the season is that right? Well, that's weird. What's September 6th? What's September 5th?
What, the first prime time?
Yeah, it says September 5th, but then they have a September 6th game. So they're doing a Thursday night game and a Friday night game.
No, I see a September 9th and the 19th. They're playing a 49ers September 9th. And
No, not them, but the Ravens at Chiefs is on September 5th. And then the Packers at Eagle is on September 6th. So that's Friday. And then September 8th is the Sunday games.
Well, maybe that's I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm looking at September 5th. That's a Friday. They probably, always at the beginning of the season, they always do those schedules all crazy. Until it settles down in the second week.
I do like my first week matchup. Tennessee Titans and Bears. I mean, that'll be a what do they call those? A fluff team?
Yeah,
nice little fluffer.
Now that Titans, you're not going to know what you're going to get since they fired that coach, but they were relatively a good team. They just needed to find an identity.
Yeah. And then, of course, week 2, I go to the Texans. Who do the Cowboys have week 1? Cowboys. Where you at, Cowboys? At Browns. Who's the Browns quarterback now?
Deshaun Watson.
Oh, damn.
Well, he got hurt and put on IR and had surgery on something.
That's
so
right.
I read that he's still rehabbing whatever his throwing shoulder or whatnot. So.
And Flacco went to Indianapolis, right?
Huh?
Joe Flacco went to Indianapolis.
No. Richardson. Talking about the quarterback?
Yeah. His current team is no, but Joe Flacco went to
the Browns last year.
No, but this year he's with the Indianapolis Colts. This
Oh,
coming year, he's an Indianapolis Colt.
Oh, I didn't know that. I don't know if he was still resigned, but
Yeah, I saw that. I think he did like a 1-year deal.
yeah, he's been doing 1-year deals for the last couple of years, so he's not ready to hang it up. But they're gonna pay you $5 million to sit there and carry a clipboard. So be
Be
it.
a cheerleader on the
Yeah,
sideline.
good oh, guys. Yeah, great touchdown. Yeah.
Give me my check. Thank you.
Yeah, my check. Thank you very much. You can auto debit it.
They put that in my pocket.
Yep. Put that in the pocket right there. So yeah, the Browns going against the Cowboys the first week, and you got Deshaun Backpage Watson, their quarterback. I had to sneak that in there. Enough said.
So the next week, it's for the Cowboys. It's the Saints in Dallas, and then who do the Jets got?
Ooh, that's gonna be some. What are those? Those people go woo-ha? Woo.
Ooh. Oh, You talking about the Saints?
Yeah, that's
Who dat?
Who dat?
It's
gonna be a lot of who dats up in this city, because you know you're gonna get a line of cars gonna watch that game. They're gonna be driving all from New Orleans talking that smack. Now you know what, Saint fans being down here in Dallas all years, they talk a lot of smack. A lot more than you would think they do. They talk a lot of stuff, so it's amazing.
Right. It's almost about time for them to put that bag back on their head, but we'll see.
Yeah, we need to put it back. But they're a solid team. They're a solid team. Who the Bears have it? We on it.
Texans week 2.
Ooh.
In Houston.
Ooh. Oh man, I see a lot of fights in those stands. Because you know the Texans are full of that. The Texans are full of themselves right now. They have every right to be. They have every right to be. And Texans did a very good job in the offseason. A very good job in the offseason with some additions done. They got Buffalo Bills guy, wide receiver. Diggs. So those cornerbacks are going to be getting it.
Already had a quarterback that was tearing it up, and now you just gave him one of the best wide receivers in the game.
Yes, most definitely. So we will see, because the wide receivers, the Cowboys and Dak did what he pretty much only has one.
Man, he was so fun to watch last year. I mean, that man was so fun to watch.
Who?
Freaking
Diggs?
No, the quarterback for the Texans.
Oh, shoot, I forgot. Stroud.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was pretty exciting. It's pretty exciting. So we'll definitely see how that goes. So I predict that one right now. Cowboys doing a Friday night game this year. Yeah, they always do the first schedules of all crazy that first week or so just to get some more people to watch. They try to put as many games as on so the NFL can collect the TV money. The more games, the more TV. Money. The more games, the more TV money.
Rams at Bears. That's what is that? That's our week 4.
Oh, the Bears and Texans Cowboys play the Saints. Week 3. Ooh, the Ravens. Cowboys play the Ravens. Ain't that something?
Be rough. I do like that game. So the first actual game of the season is Ravens at Chiefs.
Yeah, that should be a good one. Lamar Jackson supposedly had lost weight, so he wants to be quicker and faster than he has been. And I don't know how much faster this dude can get.
And I want to watch Derrick Henry.
Yeah, he's already a lightning bolt out there, but Derrick Henry too. That's going to take a lot of. That's going to take a lot of stress off of him. A lot of stress, because that dude is a workhorse. And we're going to get off the subject a little bit. That Derrick Henry from Alabama exceeded my expectations, because just like all the other prior running backs that came from Alabama, I was like, oh, this guy gonna suck. He's not fast enough, everything. But man, this guy came in the league just shoving people, beating ass and everything. Uh, I've definitely been impressed with his resume the last couple of years. Plus, what he's done with the sucky Titans the last 2 years. So it's going to be exciting to see what he can do with the Ravens.
Yeah, because now you have a fear of the quarterback throwing the ball, you have the fear of the quarterback running, and now you have the fear of a running back who is a bully, who can just like just hurt you. So
Yeah,
as a defensive player, and again, I'm not claiming to know this for a fact, but I can't imagine as preparing as a defensive player going, who do I follow? And I know you follow the ball, and some guys follow the player, but then you shift when you think one thing or another happens. I got this wide receiver, this wide receiver needs two guys, this wide receiver needs one guy. Like Derrick Henry needs two guys, the quarterback needs a spy, and then we have the entire offensive line, and then you add in a tight end.
yeah.
That's going to be entertaining to me.
That'll be a very, very entertaining game.
I think they're going to make a lot of defense look like they're in the circus.
Yeah, so they know the linebackers are going to be prepared to get bucked up that game.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah.
So
That's going to be a good one.
then you got the Bears and the Colts. I don't know what to say about the Colts. They're just all over the place. So we'll see what's going to go on with that one.
It's
Definitely.
Forrest Gump. It's like a box of chocolates, man. You never know what you're going to get.
Yep. And then the Cowboys, the fourth week, just the first month of the season. Cowboys have the
New
Giants.
York, the New York Football Giants.
New York Football Giants. You got the Giants out there in Jersey. Yeah, that's going to be. We don't know what the Giants going to be. I don't know if the Giants know what they're going to be. But you can damn near rest assured that they will do their best to beat the Cowboys. And whoever they're playing 3 weeks before, they will play better than what they did the 3 weeks before and the 3 weeks after, just because it's the Cowboys. There was plenty of times we played them and they sucked, and then they played like a Super Bowl team when they played against us. I don't know why, it's just a rivalry or anything. So I expect that to be a pretty decent game, but we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, Rams at Bears. What's his name retired, so I don't know how many people are afraid of the Rams right now.
Yeah, they had that one receiver, that rookie receiver that broke all the yards, and they had the little guy, that Super Bowl MVP type 2 years ago, but he was getting hurt all the time, so we don't know how he's going to be. But I don't know. Nobody's really thinking of the Rams right now, except the Rams.
So week 5, this is a funny one to me. Week 5, it's the Carolina Panthers at the Chicago Bears. So Carolina is going to get to see the draft pick that they gave away.
Yeah, yes. And
I personally believe in Chicago they should hang a banner. Thank you, Carolina. Thank you, Panthers.
hey,
If Caleb Williams does well.
they tried. They tried. Whatever that quarterback's name out there, that dude. I don't know if he was getting beat up too much last year or what, because it don't look like he wanted to play football. He didn't want to play football. His face expressions and all that other stuff was not good.
He was a number 1 draft pick too.
Number 1 draft pick, Bryce Young.
Yeah. Number 2, CJ Stroud.
Yeah. He didn't look like.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Cowboys at the Steelers.
Now that one, I'm actually it's right there on my deal. Cowboys at Steelers. That at Steelers.
After
I
Steelers.
think that will be Russell Wilson, Pickett, the defense the Steelers has. Obviously with the Steelers, you hope that they get their stuff done with Cam Hayward. That will, to me, that looks to be one of the best tests all around for the Cowboys.
Yes, that'll definitely be a good game. That would be a good game. The Cowboys actually have one of the tougher schedules in the NFL, so I'm excited to see what they're going to do. And until if he's on right now, I talked to Blabbermouth Mark, and I bet him about the Cowboys. We're going to keep that on there. Yeah.
Well, he does love him some wagers, doesn't he?
He loves him some wagers. Love him some wagers. So we'll see how that turns out.
Jaguars and Bears week 6. Browns and Eagles. I don't even know what to say about the Patriots. Lions at Cowboys. That'll be a good game. Bills at Jets. Again, they get a primetime game. Really don't. Monday night. Bengals at the Giants. Nothing too exciting there. Texans at week 7. Texans at Packers. Let's see who we got. Eagles. Looks like Chicago has a bye, I think. And
that's a good time to have a bye.
Looks like Cowboys have a bye.
Oh, Cowboys have a bye.
No, Chicago and the Cowboys. Same week.
Wow, same week?
So it looks like week 7. No.
I'm looking at the NFL news right now, and Antonio Brown Mike's gonna be broke this season. Yeah, he's gonna get broke. He's gonna get another job. All those bets he's doing. Yeah, definitely financial tension. So I don't think they don't have enough money to get these guys. I told them, hey, they need to trade them and get some picks and start building a team.
Yeah, I don't think it's not what Jerry wants. Jerry wants a team right now, and he seems to be that man right there. I don't know what he's thinking.
I don't know. Thinking he's gonna just keep shoving money in paper money to all these doggone players that don't need it. Not don't need it. Every player needs whatever they get. Don't get me wrong, but they don't need it right now. They're not worth giving it right now. So
you think McCarthy's gone if they don't have a winning? If they don't win 10 games this year, they don't. I don't know. Even if they get in the playoffs, but if they're not winning, does the head coach come back next year?
Nah, he's gone. They didn't want him this year. They wanted to fire him this year. But it's hard to get a good NFL coach to coach the Cowboys because they can't do what they want to. The only reason this guy took it because he was starting to fade out of the eye. He was starting to fade out, so he's like, oh, I got to take this job. I got to take it because he really didn't want to take it. No, like Andy Reid type guys or
Belichick.
Yeah, Belichick. They say, Cowboys, huh? No freaking way. I'm not going down there. So let me get a young buck that's an offense coordinator that's 32 years old. Yeah, but I don't think Jerry likes better. I don't think Jerry does like those younger guys like that. But no coach wanted to come, so they chose. They didn't have any other choice than to keep him. Trust me, they're looking for coaches right now. Right now. They were looking halfway during the middle of the season last year. I promise you they were. And they sending notes out like trying to see who they can get, see what's going on. But
Dear Bill.
So
I can see that. It's almost like a love letter that Jerry would write. Dear Bill Belichick, I would like you to come to the Dallas Cowboys, but you're not allowed to control anything. I control anything.
Yeah, he was a GM for the Patriots for 10 plus years and a head coach. No. Yeah, just come coach. I'll make decisions for you.
Yeah.
Nah, that's not going to work.
Bears at Cardinals. Then we go week 10. Patriots at Bears. There's you have a bunch of really nice, obviously Eagles at Cowboys. That one's always going to be a knockdown, drag out. Lions and Texans, that'll be a good one.
The Eagles been quiet this offseason.
besides losing what's his name, I mean, you've got that's kind of the argument with the Eagles. You have everything. You for the most part have your entire Super Bowl team, with the exception of a few guys, but nothing that should make from their Super Bowl year to last year, there was nothing that was so major that they did as bad as they did. I guess that'd be a good way to say it.
Yeah.
You know, it just to a lot of people it didn't, including me, it just didn't make it. Did you just become complacent? Was it like, oh, we won the Super Bowl, we'll just do the same thing we did last year this year?
Nah, you
And
have to
it,
change that up because all the defenses were keening in on you, and that offensive coordinator, he just tanked towards the end. They had no identity, and they still made the playoffs.
yeah.
Still made the playoffs while they're tanking in the offense. So uh, that'd be a definite something to talk about for the next couple of months.
So I'm very ready for my first Packers Bears game, Week 11.
Boo.
Packers come to Chicago. Uh, Jets are again Sunday Night Football. Colts at Jets. They can change these schedules though, can't they?
No.
They can't change the times.
Sometimes they change it, but it's very, very rare.
Because what happens if the Jets are so bad and you gave them all of these primetime games?
No, they stick with it. You can't change it. You can't change it. Whatever you put down, and that's what it is. Sometimes they have blackouts. They still have blackouts sometimes, but that's rare. So no, you have to stick with the time. They're not going to put Jets on Monday Night Football on Week 11 and then take them out. It stays. You just got to watch
Make
a
them a
sucky
day
team.
game.
Yeah. No, it's still going to be a night game. Whatever time they put now is what they're going to play.
So November 28th, I think that's Thanksgiving, isn't it? Bears at Lions. I had somebody asked me if I wanted to go to the Thanksgiving game in Detroit. I'm like, why would I want to spend Thanksgiving in Detroit? What in the world? I'm not going to Detroit.
Detroit is a nice city. It's a nice city. You gotta go check it out. It's definitely changed over the last 10 years of what you thought it was back in the day.
I went there and did some work. I had to go to Detroit to pick up product. I'm like, man, I don't want to go to Detroit. I don't have nothing to do with Detroit. It's like going to where we stayed in LA. I'll pass.
Oh, no, it's
Yeah.
not good. You don't have friends. I have a friend there, so we know I don't know where to go.
So our Thanksgiving games are Bears at Lions is the first game. New York, the Giants at the Cowboys is the second game, and the third game is Dolphins at Packers. So Dolphins will probably lose. I mean, that's November at Lambeau, so they don't do well if Tua's quarterback.
Yeah, that's some pretty good. They definitely have made some good picks on some primetime games because most people on Thanksgiving are watching all three of those games in some ways.
I will be watching all three games. I
They're
know
watching
that.
three
So
games.
they have this another Friday game, Raiders at Chiefs. So Vaughn will be all over that one trying to.
Yeah, I don't see the Raiders doing anything this year. I don't know. I mean, a best case scenario with that division out there is kind of weak, and Kansas City's Chiefs schedule is kind of weak. So the Raiders probably go somewhere around 500, 45, 450, something like that. It'll definitely be different.
Who so Tampa gave what's his name a big contract, didn't they?
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield.
Did they? I don't know. Yeah, I think they did.
I don't remember. Something I heard because he was on Baker Mayfield's contract. Tampa Bay and Quarter Bay have agreed to terms on a 3-year, $100 million contract worth up to 115 million in incentives and 50 million guaranteed.
So he took a hometown discount.
And he did. And he did. And
Well,
it's 3
hey,
years. That's not bad for 3 years. The
especially
guarantees will get you.
when everything's backloaded at the end. So he'll make more than half of it. He got 50 million guaranteed, and the other half of the other 50, he can make maybe 60 because they have 115 million in incentives.
Yeah.
So not a bad deal. It's not bad at all.
So week 14, Bears at 49ers, Bengals at Cowboys. Those will be good games.
Oh, Bears at that's going to be a tough one.
Yeah,
Definitely hopefully we'll have a identity by then.
One can only hope. Cowboys at Panthers in week 15. Bears at Vikings. That'll be our second game against the Vikings. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be very interesting as we go into the season to see how these teams are doing. Are the Lions going to do well, or was last year a fluke? Is Kansas City going to dominate again, or are people finally, going to be able to stop Patrick Mahomes? That's always my curiosity with when it comes to Kansas City. I don't know. Are the Texans going to do what they did last year? I mean, they did phenomenal last year with their rookie quarterback. Week 16, Lions at Bears. Steelers at Ravens. We'll actually know how the Steelers are doing and how Russell Wilson's going to be doing. Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Cowboys. Be a good game.
Definitely be a good game. Is there Tampa?
No, it's in Dallas.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Baker seems to show out every time he plays the Cowboys, so I don't think he's ever had a bad game playing Cowboys. Maybe one, but he's been around a while now, technically. So he'll definitely be showing out for those games.
Week 17, Seahawks at Bears, Jets at Bills. If Aaron Rodgers is still around, that'll be a good game. Cowboys at Eagles, December 29th. Woo! We'll see how the Eagles are doing by then. Hell, we'll see how the Cowboys are doing by then.
Yeah, Thanksgiving is their season right there. It's going to tell you what's going to be happening for the rest of the season. So,
and they're going to be able to pick it up. I do think it's crazy. The Bears' final game is at Green Bay.
So like January 2nd?
January 5th.
Ooh, that's going to be a cold one. That's going to be a cold one. But you never know these days. It can be 50 degrees up there in Green Bay.
Yeah.
But you better hope for El Nino to come through. Because if not, it's going to be 30 below.
No, it's either going to be, yeah. That's why I always like watching those games. It's always funny.
It definitely is.
Cowboys' last game's against the Commanders at home.
You never know what's going to happen with them either.
No. Chiefs at Broncos. Seahawks at Rams. Texans at Titans. Yeah. See, a lot of these, you look at them and you're like, all right, y'all set up, these rivalries to the point to where, it could be, I mean, I doubt very seriously the last game of the season, it's going to be the Commanders and Cowboys, at 1 and 2, and whoever wins is going to be the winner of that, that division. But a lot of these are set up that way, Giants at Eagles, Commanders at Cowboys, Seahawks at Rams, Panthers at Falcons, Chiefs at Broncos. I mean, you're just looking through them and you're like, oh, these are Bengals at Steelers, Chargers, Raiders, Browns, Ravens. Woo!
Well, let's get into some drama.
Yeah, that's the time of the year where you're like, and I read an article that said that the Bears have never played the Green Bay Packers two in a row. So the last game of the season, and then played them, and as like part of the wild card round, which is actually untrue. I remember the year that it happened because both of those games were in Green Bay. We literally played them, lost, played them again, and lost again, two in a row.
Well, that sucks.
It was horrible. It was utterly horrible.
We had something similar like that when I was the Cowboys. I can't remember what year that was, maybe 2007, when we played the Philly Eagles like the second game in December, and then we played them the last game, like 3 games later. We beat them both times. And then with the schedule the way it was to the playoffs, we played them a week later.
Lost.
And then they wanted to do the same game plan. So when they showed us what we're going to do, we're going to do the same game plan. We're in a meeting like.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
It's not going to work. It's not going to work.
You watch these guys doing it, and you're like, it is crazy how much work goes into watching games to see, how you adapt to, whatever the next time you meet it.
Mm-hmm.
I always think that's an interesting. You hear about these guys studying tape and everything else, and it's just like, it's not as simple as, hey, here's the game plan, let's practice it a few times, and go out there and play. It's, how does this play when, it's like playing poker, right? What's their tell? Did you ever learn anybody's specific tell? Like how they leaned in, or if they were coming or not coming, taking 2 steps in, or.
You have to study all that stuff, especially when it comes to individual players. You look at his stance, you look at his hand placement, you look at how he turns his head, you look at how he runs on a particular down, first down, second, third, different situations, third and long, third and short, second long, second and short, what he does on first and 10. I mean, it's a million things that you study against just one player that you try to look for anything you could possibly do to beat him during that game. So we already played a team twice, and you did those game plans. They're going to study that game plan like it's nothing. That's what they're going to do. They're going to go to the last 2 or 3 times you played them. And they're going to study that film because there's always a chance that team is going to do the same thing. But then we're going to study this. We're going to study this other stuff just in case, but we're going to study what we've already been through with them, and that's what happened.
Yeah, and then, it's just kind of one of those things where you get owned if you're not. Just like with anybody, what I do, what most people do. If you're not innovating and getting better and learning, how to overcome obstacles, you're going to get left behind. Or you're going to lose. Or you're going to lose. Yeah. All right, man. Hey, did you watch? We didn't talk about that. Did you watch the Tom Brady thing on Netflix?
No, I didn't watch it. I just saw some little excerpts online, but I didn't watch it. I don't have the patience for that stuff.
Man,
I heard it was decent.
Man, they lit. It was one of those things. He's upset because he's not upset, but he regrets it because of how it affected his kids and everything else, and what the comedians talked about. And the girl who did the best part, I would encourage you to just watch her, what she did.
What's her name?
She was, what was her name? Hers is utterly hilarious.
What I did saw one of those things that I don't know who that comedian was or a guy. He could have been an athlete for I don't know what he talked about. Kim K.
Do what?
The things that he roasted Kim K on it, Kim Kardashian. Now that was funny.
So the funny thing is, one of his biggest, I regret how it affected my kids, my family, his ex-wife and all that other stuff. But you turned around and said the same bullshit to Kim Kardashian as they were doing to you. But Nikki Glazer,
I'm gonna look it up.
Nikki
Nikki Glazer.
Glazer's she was the best. She did it best. She hands down. The rest of it was too long. Number one, a roast should never be 3 hours long. That was the most boring thing in the entire world. I was literally fast forwarding, but her, she did the thing about Gronk, and she's like, Tom Brady, you lost $30 million, with Bitcoin, and she said even Gronk over there knew that's not real money. The shit she did was utterly hilarious, and she nailed it. And I thought it was funny that Tom Brady basically told one of the comedians that Robert Kraft was off limits. I'm like, screw that. We got pull and tug old man over here,
What?
but I'm not allowed to. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh man, forget that. You can't tell them that. They're just gonna make them want to do it more.
They didn't. I mean, he basically told him that Robert Kraft. I mean, he went up on. You can hear it. It was a hot mic issue. He walked up because the guy made fun of, or basically made a joke. Oh, we got Robert Kraft over here. Is anybody under that? I don't know what he said, but basically talking about him getting busted for his happy ending massages. And Tom Brady gets up, walks up to him, and goes, "I don't say that shit." And it's like, all right. So
that was just they're just gonna feed that. He's gonna feed it, and all those gonna light him up on that little candy shop thing that he did.
Yeah, but Nikki Glazer, her roast. If you don't even watch the whole thing, just watch Nikki Glazer's roast.
I want to look at it. I got it in my notes right here.
Yeah, it was utterly hilarious. But I think what got me was, I get that you regret it, but even Nikki Glazer in an interview was like, "Have you never watched a roast before? Because these aren't like pet you and tell you your pretty things. They dig into your ass. Nothing is off limits when it comes to these roasts."
Oh yeah.
So, and you thought that wasn't going to be a fact, but Kevin Hart, that dude, he's like, if you want to go 8-9 in the season, and all it costs you is your wife and kids, you do it. And I was like, oh, that one's rough, but I mean, you literally chose an 8-9 season. I wouldn't say, not over your wife and kids. You chose to go back to football over your wife. You were given an ultimatum, and you chose football over your wife. And I'm not mad at him. I can't say that I would or would not have done that if I'd have been in that position. I mean, nobody's asking you to stop modeling. I don't know if she models anymore, but nobody's asking you to stop who you are and what you do. Mm-hmm. So why are you asking me to quit football if it's something that I want to continue to do? So I'm actually on Tom Brady's side of that. But yeah, it was interesting. All right, man. Got anything else?
No, nothing else. I'm trying to see anything you're talking about. Sean Antonio Brown filed for bankruptcy. I guess his rap song didn't reach the charts.
Didn't he make a ton of money?
I mean, yeah, he lost a lot with those lawsuits, and the lawyers eat up more than what people are asking for. So with all this, whatever he's doing, that's all the lifestyle he's living, popping bottles in Vegas and stuff. So that's what happens. So it's amazing. But no, it's kind of quiet out there right now in NFL land. That's it.
All right, man. Well, everybody have a good day.